Yes, sir. Welcome, people. Boys and girls, people all around the world, man. We got to talk about it.
you
We gotta talk about it. Hefe might have some hope. He might have some hope, man.
know, I was hope is all I got at this point.
I remember we had our predictions. Remember when we
hmm
started this? You said Mavs in 6. I said Boston in 7. Now we are on the brink of something that we have maybe never seen, and we got to talk about it, man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Boston Celtics got blowed the hell out. Blow the hell out, man. By the way, if y'all are coming in, show us some love by liking, the stream, liking the video. Uh, we got to talk about this, man. What in the heck happened? This was, I believe, Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Friday night.
Friday Night Lights, man.
Mhm.
They got a little too bright for them Celtics, man. Talk to me, brother. How do you feel about that crazy game?
I don't, as happy as I am that the Mavs actually won, um,
Mm,
I don't know. It looked a little like the Boston just didn't want to play, and it wasn't an actual
facts.
game. I know it's conspiracy theory this early in the stream is a little too much, but I don't know, man. Like, come on, that's almost 40 points after you've dominated
Crazy.
them for 3 games straight. Like, nah, that's something. Yeah, that's exactly the what do they call them? The extender, right?
The
The
extender.
extender. That's
They
what I'm
call him
saying.
the extender.
Yeah.
Adam Silva made that call, bruh. He made that call to the extender. And this ref, there's gonna come a documentary about him in the next 20 years about how he used to fix games. Cause this dude told him, bruh, we need to make that money.
Yep. 100%. I don't know. People say, "Oh, it's too much." It's all BS, but it's entertainment. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. So the more ad
Right.
revenue that comes in, the more these guys get paid. It's all one big circle, right?
My thing is, you know, I don't know if we had a podcast before game 3, but when you had Luka Doncic, right,
hmm
getting in foul trouble, right, and getting kicked out of game 3, screaming at the refs, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
going off. I think I'm being real with you. That game 4, he actually came out and was competing, and he wasn't all up in the refs' grill.
Yeah.
Like he seemed more controlled. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He
Dude
did.
had like 25 points in the first half. By the at that point it was already a blowout.
Yeah.
But bro was not complaining at refs. He actually was very maintained.
hmm
And you think, oh my God, the math snapped and you know what I mean? And Luca got off for 30, 40 points. No, only 29.
Yeah.
He was effective, man. He was passing the ball. They were getting alley oops. They were actually playing team basketball.
Basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. hundred
Yeah.
percent. It was nice to see. I don't want to say like Luca's gotten into that trap of complaining to the refs and flopping and stuff like that. So it was nice to see him actually go out there and compete.
Facts. Facts. My question is, man, is it time for us to really talk about them pulling a 2016 Warriors versus Cavs comeback 3-1, man? Do you think it's possible, brother? And get in the chat, people. We got to talk about it.
We got
Or
yeah, we
is
got
it
to talk
going to
about
be
it.
a gentleman's sweep?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. And that's
Mm.
changing my tune from saying Mavs and 6. But at this point, I don't see a way unless Boston really just doesn't come out and play at any level. There's no way that's gonna happen.
I'm leaning towards gentleman's sweep too.
Mm.
But from what you said, remember at the beginning of the podcast, you were saying basically what Jason Kidd said, man. He wrote
Mhm.
this. He said this at a press conference right after the game. One group was ready to go, They were one group was ready to go. They were ready to celebrate. So essentially saying the Mavs, they were ready to go,
Hmm.
but the Celtics were already turning up.
Yeah,
They took the foot off the gas, fam.
and that's what it looks like,
Like,
right? I don't want to
yeah.
say inexperience because they've been there before. They've been to the finals. They know how it feels to lose. So they should have just kept pressing, but it just seemed like they wanted to win in Boston instead of winning on the road, right? Kind of like
Mm,
the Denver Lakers gentleman sweep there, where Denver didn't really
yeah.
want to play, they didn't want to win in LA, went back home and dominated. So how do you dominate a team 3 games straight, lose big time on the fourth game, and then dominate them again on the fifth game? So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Again, man, the extender didn't even have to do much, man. The extender didn't have to do much because Boston already quit, dog.
Yeah,
It's like they got off the what they got out of their hotel room. Were like, "F it, let's finish this in Boston,"
in
which
Boston.
is
Yeah.
going they're gonna be playing tomorrow in Boston Garden. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? In TD Garden, I believe. But this is so bad. You have Drew Holiday who went only for 10 points. Derek White went for 6. Tatum went for 15. Jalen Brown went for 10. Like those are not winning numbers, man.
No, not
You
at
are
all.
not gonna win a game, especially the finals like that. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, this guy's like when Jason Tatum's the leading scorer, there's a problem on Boston. So
That's
not
what
to
I'm
say that
saying.
he's not to say that he's not, you know what I mean, he's not a superstar or anything like that, but Jalen
Yeah,
Brown has proven that he's probably the number one guy. So for him to only score 10 points, it's a little crazy to me.
it's crazy, man. And you know what? In my eyes, I'm thinking like this, right? If Boston actually has good coaching, right? And we believe Joe Mazzulla is a good coach. Like we said that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the defensive effort by the Celtics, man?
Hmm.
Jalen Brown was not holding it down defensively.
Nope,
And
just
just
bunching
like,
them.
Sean O'Connor is saying here in the chat, shout out Sean, you know what I mean? Mavs D was a leading game for it was no Diddy. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? The D was there, no
Yeah.
Diddy. Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was like Jalen, but the first 2 games he was like looked like all defensive team. It was crazy, but
absolutely.
game 4 they just didn't show up. It's just like they almost didn't have the will to actually play. Like, come on, 10 points. That's what
Yeah.
it's nothing. But it is what it is. But we'll go to game 5 and then they can wrap it up in Boston, have a bigger celebration.
You know what this reminds me of, and I'm gonna say it, I don't care. You know what I mean? This reminds me, man, of LeBron James in 2007. LeBron James with the Cavs versus the Spurs, bro.
Mm.
The Spurs were too damn good. By the way, shout out to Matt H in the chat. Y'all talking about Booker yet? If we're talking maybe about players who can't defend who are overhyped, yeah. If you we can talk about Booker. I
My
know
boy.
Hefe has some opinions. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I said my boy Matt thinks Booker's the future. So
Oh my God, man. We was, you know what? In this context, maybe we can talk a little bit about Booker. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Because if you remember that, Bucks versus Suns finals, you know what I mean?
mhm,
It went 6 games, right? But you had a complete team, which was the Bucks. You know what I mean? With Drew Holiday, actually, funny enough, Drew Holiday,
yeah.
champion. I don't know why the Bucks traded him. Crazy.
Yeah.
Versus a team led by Booker and CP3 and Aiton, which wasn't so complete. It was basically 2 stars. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? You could argue that that's what the Mavs and Celtics really are right now. You have a complete team, which is the Boston Celtics,
Yeah.
going against, you know, a two man crew.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I saw the appeal of the Mavs, but like when I just looked at the paper, I'm like, damn, it's so hard. It is so hard to pick against Boston. But like we even said earlier, Boston has sometimes they fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I
Hundred
mean?
percent. Yeah. 100%. No, I was. You know what? To be honest, I was. I was in favor of the Mavs because I thought they figured out how to play, Kyrie and Luca together. I thought that was going to carry over. But
Yeah.
no, like you said, Boston's just too deep. They're just too deep. So I think Game 5 will be it. But it's
Mm,
the different style of play, the complete team play of Boston, and then you have like Luca doing, not necessarily isos, but drawing the defense, doing the alley oops, stuff like that. So they're a
yeah.
different tempo game, different tempo team. So I don't know, but the defense is what's going to win it for Boston. So if they show up with defense on tomorrow, then they should wrap it up.
You know what's interesting, man? If we look at the histories of, I mean, teams coming back from 3-0, it almost happened last year, fam. It
Yeah.
almost happened last year in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals, where Jimmy Butler and the Heat Nation over here, y'all stand
Hmm.
up. You know what I mean? By the way, yeah, it was wild to trade Holiday
Hmm.
away. It was insane. They did all of that just to grab Dame Lillard, who I like Lillard, but Lillard, man, disappointed in the playoffs, man.
Hmm.
No show. What did you think of that? Just right quick when we top on what Matt just said, man. How impactful do you think Drew Holiday was or is to the Celtics and how they function, bro?
Well, he has that I don't want to say the pedigree because he's not like a superstar, but he has the
Mm,
knowledge to play, right? He's like you said, he's a champion with the Bucks. They shouldn't have traded him. I see the appeal of getting Dame because a big
yeah.
name, big draw, but you had a good team that took you to the finals, conference finals multiple times. So why don't just build on that instead of trying to get, oh, maybe we have this missing piece and trade away a guy who actually helped your team. So and they're they're learning that now while he's in Boston helping them. So he's
Yeah.
gonna win another championship and where's Dame? I like Dame too. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I enjoy watching him play, but don't trade what you have for something that might be, because you never know how it's gonna pan out. And for the Bucks, it didn't pan out this year. So we'll see next year
Yeah.
how he transitions with the team and gets the whole year under his belt. But I don't know. We'll see.
That's very fair, man. You know what I mean? And the Bucks, look at that. Look at that team, bro. Like it came from winning a chip like what about 3 years ago, and
Mhm.
then now they're like they got bounced the first round or something shit like that. I'm like, God damn, they have
Yeah,
Doc Rivers over there looking like a bum. I've got to go on the rant, man. Doc Rivers is a bum. Okay, let's have a real conversation today, man.
that was
I
it.
don't care. It's Sunday. Get in the chat. Doc Rivers is a bum. Okay,
Mhm.
and why do I say Doc Rivers is a bum? It's because this dude has been hanging dry with this one championship he got from Boston
Boston, yeah.
with the big three of the best players, period, of all time in their prime. You're talking about KG, Kevin Garnett, the big ticket.
Big
Talking
thing.
about Ray Allen, one of the best shooters. You got Paul Pierce, who's doing this thing. And this dude has had that one ring and it's been able to get him coach for Philly, like having him coach for now the Bucks, having this dude coach for the Clippers where they failed. Everywhere this dude went, he was failing and failing and failing and failing and failing,
Mhm.
and he keeps getting paid, man. Whoever his agent is, give him a raise, dog.
Phenomenal.
I would love to fail and still get money.
Yeah, 100%.
I would love to fail and make money. Man,
Oh, see what Sean's saying.
yeah.
Lillard might not know how to play number two, but he's sure gonna learn because Giannis isn't gonna give
Mm,
up that number one spot.
mm. That is a fact, actually.
Mhm.
Huh? No, that's a great point, man. Because you never had Lillard hasn't played a number two role
No,
ever. Has he ever been a number two?
no, not that I know of. He's always
No,
been
you're
that.
right.
He's always been that one. But granted, he stayed with Portland forever, so there was no need for him to be number two. Whoever they brought in was for him, but I don't know. Yeah, like Sean said, we'll see how they are, both healthy, get that chemistry going. Like, look at Luca and Kyrie. Yeah, I
True,
didn't think that was gonna work
true.
out. I was never a flat earther, right? I didn't believe. So, but he
Shout
made
out
me
to my
believe.
flat Earth people.
He made me believe until the finals, and then I'm back to Earth being round. So,
I will. We gotta. You know what? We can't even lie. We can't. We can't play. with Kyrie's name though, because the fact is he played really, really great
Yeah.
in the past two games, man. You know, the game that they lost, game three, where Luca fouled out, he
Yeah.
still gave borderline like 35. This past game where they blowed out the entire Boston team, he gave you 21 points, but a lot of those points were in the second half. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
By the way, shout out Sean for saying something ridiculous in the chat. We appreciate you watching, anyways, bro. But shout out to our boy Kyrie, man. Because think about it like this: the only other team that's came back from a 3-1 deficit was a team that he was on, man, with the Cavs.
With the Cavs, yeah.
When they were, coming back from 3-1, Kyrie was playing all-time basketball, man. Kyrie was really, really hooping. And especially this one shot, bro. That
Yeah.
shot in game seven,
Hmm.
that three to put him up, I think maybe 2 points with about, let's say, a minute left on the clock. That was one of the most clutch three-pointers of all time.
Yeah.
And it was on top of Curry's ugly head top, who I hate. I hate Curry. But you know what I mean? Without Kyrie's efforts, bro, LeBron doesn't win this ring, man.
Hmm.
LeBron is not, bringing a chip to Cleveland without Kyrie Irving.
No, not at all.
And this is somebody that we have to show our respect to, Mr. Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
We
See, and
got to talk
I'm
about it,
glad you said that because if I were to say that, then I would be LeBron hating and spewing trash against LeBron. But no,
man. See, I can't even, I have to spit facts, man. I'm
yeah.
not a liar here, You are a LeBron hater though, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Kyrie was integral to that chip, man. I can't even hate. You know what I mean? Now, Sean actually asked a really great point, man. I want to get your opinion on this. Bigger three, Kyrie or Ray Allen? I'm assuming you're talking about that Ray Allen game six shot, which was also, you know what I mean,
LeBron saved
an
him.
amazing, amazing play.
It saved LeBron again. He got saved by a
Oh,
shooter. For me,
oh,
I would say it would be the Ray Allen shot, not just because Ray Allen's one of my favorite shooters, but um, first Chris Bosh getting that board, that was
yes.
clutch, and then shooting it out. Ray Allen shoots that no matter what, so I think he
Absolutely.
was more comfortable shooting that than I don't want to say Kyrie wasn't comfortable shooting that three, but this was more natural for Ray Allen just to shoot it like it was a
Hmm.
plain 3-point shot. So
And you know what? That shot was so iconic because, like you said, I this is not a LeBron hate stream or a hate live stream, but that really saved a lot of LeBron's legacy because the Spurs were about to win that game, man.
mhm.
That game was in lock. You know what I mean? I believe it was game six. Yeah, it was game six, if I'm not mistaken. Spurs were up. It was over. It was over. And that would be LeBron losing, I believe, 2 years in a row in the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? Uh, if I'm not mistaken, was this the first year they played the Spurs, or was it the second year they played the Spurs?
I think it was
Maybe
the
you can
second.
correct me.
I think it was the second. But
Oh,
what people
yeah, because they
forget,
had won the year before,
mhm,
correct?
what people forget
Mhm.
is that who shot that three that Chris Bosh got the rebound for. Some people forget that.
Absolutely.
You know who
Yeah.
that was? It was
Who
LeBron.
was it?
LeBron shot that three that ricocheted off the back of the rim. Bosh got that
Oh,
rebound,
yeah.
and
He
LeBron
missed.
called for it. LeBron called for that ball, and Bosh kicked
Oh,
it out to
shit.
Ray Allen. Ray Allen going backwards to shoot the three
Wow.
like it was like butter. Ray Allen. That's why I would pick that shot over Kyrie's.
Oh, wow. Yes, you're actually right. He did shoot it. He did shoot it before Ray Allen because, yes, Chris Bosh got the rebound. And then Allen got it, and then he shot it, and then it forced game seven
Mhm.
because they had won the year before. The Spurs had beat the Heat the year before.
Yeah.
There we go. It's all adding up now because the
Mhm.
the first the first chip was versus OKC, the Baby Thunder. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
when KD and Russ and
Right.
Harden were youngins,
Yeah.
super youngins. And then Spurs came next year with Kawhi. Kawhi defending the hell out of LeBron.
Yeah.
And then this year, this was his final year in Miami. Ray Allen with the clutch shot. Because at that point, LeBron would have went probably 1-4 in the finals. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? At that point, because he hadn't faced the Warriors yet.
The Warriors, yeah.
Sean is saying the Allen shot, and you know what? Y'all won me over. The Ray Allen shot was epic, bro. I remember watching it live. It was amazing. And what was LeBron's stat line for the game? Oh, let's find out. Let's F around and find out. I know LeBron went crazy though.
Oh, I'm sure he did, but he just missed that clutch shot, as everybody says that he is, right, Mr. Clutch. So
Hey
I'm just saying.
man, stop playing
I'm
with
just
him.
saying.
Oh, this was I
That's
think
gonna
right
get me
now my
going here.
hey man, yo Matt is really going off on the King man on King James. I'm pulling it up right now. We're pulling out some of the stats. This was the game. Yeah,
Mhm.
is 103, 100, right? Let's see what LeBron had. If we're looking at the stat sheet right here, if I'm not mistaken, was Miami Heat right here. We had LeBron with 32 points. You know what I mean? A block. Unfortunately, 6 turnovers. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
11 assists, 10 boards. So I'm just saying, LeBron was doing his thing. He was being the king as he's supposed to be.
Mhm.
But at the same time, yes, without Ray Allen, you don't have, the four-time NBA champ LeBron James. He'll maybe be three-time. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
that's just the fact of the matter here.
Hey, I
You know
didn't
what I
say
mean?
LeBron wasn't cooking that game. I'm just saying he was saved.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it at
All right, fair.
that.
Fair. That's fair. We're gonna put down the LeBron and Jordan debate for a little bit, man. We're gonna
We're
we're
not
gonna
e-
say that.
we're not even debating that. No, I'm not.
Hey
I'm not.
man,
You're not suckering me into that one.
I'm gonna sucker you into this, bro. No Diddy. By the way, shout out Matt again. You're going with, I think we're all in agreement
Yeah.
that Ray Allen shot was epic. I'll say this. When Kyrie had that shot, uh on the Warriors, right? It just set up a sequence of events where you saw that team, that Cavs team, was not anywhere close to that Warriors team. That
Mhm.
Warriors team went 73-9, man.
Yeah.
73 and
That's
9.
nice.
And what we're seeing, I believe, is we're seeing a chance where the Mavs could somehow pull this off. Now, I'm gonna give y'all some reference. This is the basketball podcast, but we got to use some reference because has a team ever came back from 3-0? The Boston Red Sox did in 2004. So I mean, only team in history to overcome a 3-0 deficit. They did it against the Yankees. You know what I
And
mean? And I'm
that
not
was
a
when
huge
they broke the
baseball guy,
curse.
but
No,
yeah.
was that when
Hmm?
they broke the curse? That year they broke
Yeah,
the
that's
curse.
when they broke the curse, brother. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm not a big baseball guy, but to see a team come back from that is huge, fam.
Yeah.
That is absolutely huge. What do you think, brother?
I don't know. As much as I want them, I would love to see that comeback story.
Mhm.
Just because none of us really like Boston to begin with. Um,
Hell no. This is a Boston hater zone.
but I just don't think they have. Luca can't play as many minutes as he wants. I think is the
No.
if they end up going 7 games, is the body's gonna take its toll on him. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. As much as I want them to, like I said, but I don't think they have. I think Boston's just too deep.
Hmm. I would say, we're in agreement on that too, man. We're in a lot of agreements tonight. The simple fact is, I personally, just because I love basketball and also I like doing a podcast with you, I want them to extend.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
we gotta
But
call Foster.
yeah, hey, we gotta call the guy. We gotta call the fixer, man. Oh my God,
Yeah.
man. The thing about a guy like Foster, right? He puts himself so much in the game. You're wondering, like, bro, you're not. We don't. We don't pay or
Mm.
watch illegal streams to watch you, bro. Like we're not going on these sites, threatening our laptops or computers to watch you, bro.
No,
We're here to
not at
watch
all.
the players play. You're not God.
Yeah.
And when I was used to play ball, man, I hated refs like that, man.
Hmm.
Taking it so serious. Like, bro, get out of here. Let them play.
Yeah, they're
So, I
pro
mean,
players, man. Just let them play. It's like just imagine
yeah,
in hockey a ref taking over the game and like stopping every play just for no reason. Like that would be insane. So,
insane.
but I don't know.
And
Like I said, entertainment value, they have to extend it. That's my conspiracy for the night.
that's a conspiracy for the night. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Talking about NHL, just quick aside, they better extend this one. I don't know which ref they gotta pay. This is a basketball podcast. We even go on baseball and hockey.
And
They
hockey.
better extend this MF, man.
Yeah.
Oilers got smoking on those Florida Panthers yesterday, 8-1. I
Eight
really
one.
liked it. I like the fact that, they looked like they had some confidence. And this
Mm-hmm.
matters because that's the key here. I think
Hmm.
that game 4 by the Mavs gave these guys a lot of confidence, man. A
Yeah.
lot of confidence. And that's what you need because and I was shocked to see this, the Mavs defense showed up. You hold the Boston Celtics to 88 points.
Yeah.
That's
It's
impressive,
insane.
man.
That was insane. I think what was it at the
Yeah.
half? It was like 30 something at the half. Or am I
Yes.
wrong? It was low. I was like, wait a second. I thought it
Yeah.
was like the start of the second quarter or something, but nah, that was insane.
Yes. And you know what? I don't even think Luca or Kyrie played the fourth. They were out. They were just out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just
Near the start of the fourth, they took him out. Luca
yeah,
was
they took
like,
him out.
oh,
They pulled them because it was over.
yeah, yeah. Nobody's
You know
coming
what I
back
mean?
from that, especially at
And
this day and age. This
yeah.
era of basketball, once you reach 20 points, it's 7 minutes left in the quarter. It's like, okay, game over. There's
It's
no
done.
hustle. Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Matt again in the chat. I rock with his, you know what I mean, his chat saying, I would love the Mavs to come back, but it's a long shot, but one game at a time.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, man, because ultimately you have to look at it like this. It is one game at a time,
Hmm.
and the pressure rises on Boston's side.
100%. Yeah.
If they don't win game 5, the pressure rises. If they don't win game 6, the pressure goes
Pressure
to the top,
through the
to the
roof.
very top, and you have a situation where Hefe might be winning a couple bucks.
We can
Oh
only
man,
hope.
somebody that really showed up, I want to mention him, was Tim Hardaway Jr., man.
Right?
You know what I mean? He didn't look like his pops, but he was shooting like Curry or somebody. Like his shots were on fire.
Yeah.
And this was one of the guys we talked about in our preview episodes, man. We talked about
Hmm.
him a lot. We're like, yo, where's he at? He was
Yeah.
right in the bench, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Until I didn't see him at all till the fourth quarter. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they haven't said anything about him being injured or anything like that. So maybe he's just not playing up to par. But I don't know. I'd throw him a little bit earlier just to get, some momentum, maybe something.
Hmm. I think Jason Kidd pulled him out of the lineup. You know what I mean? And then he brought him back in. But that's what you need. You need an energy guy coming off the bench because at a certain point, Tim Hardaway Jr. was like their second or third best player before Kyrie came.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? He was getting buckets. So in my point of view, I'm like, okay, if you have him coming, if you have Gafford, if you have Lively, you have all these guys coming, there's a chance that this series gets spicy because if he's giving you like 10, 15 points, Luca and Kyrie can do the rest.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
defend and make it difficult, really, really hard for Boston to run you over. But I gotta ask you something again, man. Something that I think might trigger you. They are
What?
saying, and when I say they, I'm talking about specifically Nick Wright comparing these two together, man. Do you see it or is it BS? What do you think?
I don't see it, to be honest with you. Like,
Yep.
Like I've told you before, I don't think Luca's just in his prime just yet, right? And when
Mhm.
LeBron was in his prime, I didn't see a lot of his games, but obviously I've seen the highlights. Matt loves to tease me about my IG highlights. So I do go back into some LeBron highlights as secret as I might be about it. I
Yeah.
do go back and see him play in his prime, but yeah, I don't think so. I think LeBron was an overall better player than Luca. You can
Mhm.
just tell in the defense, like, yeah, I give LeBron a lot of slack for his defense now, but he
Yeah.
did have his years where he wasn't a defensive player, but that's how the league evolved. It evolved more into offense, less defense, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily his fault, but no, I don't agree with that statement that Nick Wright said. I don't agree with a lot of what Nick Wright says. So, and I know he's a LeBronite, but um, yeah, I don't like that guy. But anyways, no, he's it's
That's a very punchable face. I will
yes,
say that.
100%. Like, I mean, what is this guy? Did this guy even play basketball at any level ever?
No,
No,
no.
no. So,
This
and
guy is a ish stalker, man.
yeah, what is up with that
Profe-
hair? This guy. It's like,
you know what he did? He got those plugs. He went to Turkey and got them
did he?
plugs found.
Okay, it's okay to get them, but just don't have to grow them that far, bro. Come on, it looks fake now.
Yeah.
But
I will say this. By the way, we forgot to mention this, man. Happy Father's Day to all the real pops out there.
mhm, mhm,
My boy Hefe, I hope that you got all the gifts. You got to kick up, get a
mhm.
steak. You know what I mean?
I had to
Everything.
clean the backyard and clean my own barbecue and cook my own burgers and stuff. But it's all good. I don't mind doing
Damn,
it,
they had you working today?
right? They're like, bro, you're
Wow.
fully Spanish, so you got to start working no matter what. So,
Starts from day one, man.
yeah,
Again, we'll say happy Father's Day to the fathers out here, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, for all the real ones, we appreciate y'all for holding it down. You know what I mean? We call this podcast obviously Unk and Few, man. You know, Hefe's basically a pops to me, man. I respect him. He's the OG, you know what I mean? So shout out to all the fathers. Say what's up to your pops tonight. Show him some love, appreciation, you know what I mean?
mhm.
And that's what it's all about out here.
You
We
know,
will say this, man. You know what I mean? When we're looking at really hoops, right? I personally believe that I'm not gonna go fully with what Nick Wright is saying, but I'm gonna just say the fact that I see it. I see a little bit of the resemblance.
mm,
You know what I mean? I see it
oh,
because they're both ball dominant, tall guards. You know what I mean? Because they're basically point guards. People don't want to admit it. Luca's basically a point guard, right? They're very ball dominant. They can get triple doubles easily. And unfortunately, this is something that is a negative. I'm a LeBron guy, but I gotta say it. They both complain to the refs a lot.
yeah,
The complaining by Luca to the refs, it has pissed me off so much. By the way, shout out to Matt in the chat who says, yes, Nick Wright is a young Skip Bayless. Yes, Skip Bayless also a punchable face, both of
yep,
them. And
hundred
also,
percent.
although Skip hates LeBron, yes, he's like Hefe, man. You
Mm-hmm.
both of y'all hate LeBron. Y'all got that in common.
No,
But
but I,
the
I give him I give
Go
him
ahead.
credit when it's due. I give him credit when it's due, not just I don't hand it out that easily, but I give LeBron
Yeah,
credit where it's due.
I will give you that. You actually you're pretty objective. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You keep it real. You're not a pure hater. But
Hmm.
this dude hates the refs, man.
Yeah,
What did you think of that? Do you think that's a fair comparison or no? Or is it like part of being a superstar? You know what I mean?
like that's the thing. There's been almost a change in how the players see the refs and argue with the refs. As before, I
Mm,
don't know if you've ever seen Rasheed Wallace when he didn't say a word to the ref one day. I think he was playing with Portland, and the
mm,
ref gave him a tech just for staring at him. Didn't say a word. This game where he was intimidating him, right?
wow.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Didn't say a word to
Really?
him. Just looked at him and just kept
Oh,
staring at him. And the ref just like, nope, you're teed up. Granted, prior to that, he was talking a little bit to the ref, but not as much as
sure.
these guys do now. Like it's unbelievable how much complaining they do. A lot of the shots that you see, they're off balance shots. They don't have
Yeah.
full control of their bodies. Then why is that a foul? It's not a foul, right? So for me,
Hmm.
I can't stand it. I think I compared it once to
Yeah.
European football, where the guys, they get sneezed on, and this is coming from a guy who loves soccer. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's not there's it doesn't need to be in the game, right? It's a perfect example. I knew you were gonna put that one up. So
And you
it
know what?
doesn't.
I'll even put up. I'll be even objective. I'll even put up my goat, man. My goat soccer player. Even he dives a lot, and I hate to admit it. I hate to admit it, but
We'll
bro
put
does it a
Ronaldo,
lot. And we're
yeah.
talking Euros. He does it a lot, bro. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, I was gonna say I knew you were gonna put up Ronaldo as soon as you said you're a goat. But look at yeah, he's just there's no need for that in the game, especially in the pros, because now you're looking at like what's that um, AAA tournaments and stuff like that, where these kids are 12, 13 years old, and now they're starting to complain to the refs and they're starting to flop. It just doesn't
Yeah.
need to go that way, but it's part of the game, but entertainment, I guess, value. But I don't know. For me, I just can't stand it. I almost turn it off at that point.
You're absolutely right, man. Because you know how many kids look up to Luca,
Hmm.
that look up to, have Luca jerseys. They look up to LeBron, and you know what? These guys, they set an example, not even just for kids, but just for other contemporaries, other people who play ball too, like their teammates. You know what I mean? And yes, refs are not perfect. They won't get everything right. Some refs are on the take, like we just talked about our homie over here. You know what I mean? Some of them are fixing games for real, but you have to try to play through it. And I didn't even know the Rasheed Wallace story, but I think Rasheed, he used to get a lot of texts. Like he was Draymond before Draymond, but I believe he just played more a physical brand of basketball. Like he wasn't, you know what I mean? He obviously had some attitude issues here and there, but it's definitely not as bad as Luca. Luca's incessant complaining to the refs, and I think that that affects how the refs play him. Like they're more pissed at him, and they're more willing to call small fouls on him and get him out of the game. You know what I mean? These refs are still human beings, and if you disrespect them, they're gonna want to get revenge. You know?
No, 100%. Like in Rashid's case, it wasn't
Yeah,
that he was like trying to take shots and no calls. He was being
yeah,
more defensive, right? Being more aggressive defensively, where he constantly
yeah,
getting being called the defensive foul on him. So I think that sets you off, especially when you get thrown out of games or fouled out of games so often, just because
yeah.
they're consistently not liking how aggressive you are on defense. So it's a little bit different, but it's that's when the aggressiveness of the NBA started fading at that point. So, but
Mm,
and so they
that's a
kind of
great point.
streamlined it. No, I don't want to say streamlined it, but they started calling those more aggressive fouls of being like, okay, guys, let's protect the superstars and stuff like that. So, but not that
You
it's a
know,
bad thing. These guys are making supermax contracts, $600 million a year. Obviously, you want to protect your
mm,
investment. So, I totally get it. And it just it is what it is.
my question is, right, since the NBA started being quote unquote softer, right, and protecting its stars, do you think that it's actually made the game like a worse product or better? Because now you have stars who are playing longer. Obviously,
Hmm.
you have guys who are the best players in the league are like even mid 30s, low key some in the late 30s. You really didn't see that much in the past. Players were done like 32, 33.
Yeah, in their
You know what I mean?
early to mid 30s, these guys would stop playing because of all the injuries. So, no, you know
Yeah.
what? Like I think the physicality of it back then was a little extreme, especially in the 80s. Everybody says like, "Oh, the 80s and 90s are the golden years of basketball, the best basketball ever." That's not
Mm,
necessarily the case. Um, it was extremely physical, but that's how they played. Everybody just, okay, you get a shot to the face, you take a swing, and you keep playing. So, is that was that good for the sport? Obviously not. You had a lot of guys that could have played a lot longer if they wouldn't have gotten injured, if they wouldn't have gotten beaten up, right? So It would have
You
been
know, you know who
better for the
really
team now.
like when I look back, this dude really shocked me. Bill Lambier.
That
Like
was
he was
Draymond before
clotheslining
Draymond.
people.
Yeah.
This was Draymond. This was like white Draymond. Like he was really pushing MF was out the way. Like this was not defense. This was like abuse, man.
100%, right? And that's how the Pistons play. That's why they're called the bad boy Pistons. It's like if you look at the
Mm,
highlights of the Pistons, that wasn't defense. They didn't care. It was almost like, not
yeah.
to knock hockey, but like the way they play defense in hockey is you mark the man. You don't care about the puck. So if the guy's gonna go by
Mm,
you, you lay him out, and that's the style that they played. So am I glad that they got away from that? Yeah, I think it helps the sport and overall because your superstars, like you said, do play longer. Like LeBron's played 21 years. If he
yeah.
played back then, nah, injuries, man. Injuries would have got him early, and he wouldn't have been able to play the 21 years. So
This is very interesting because what you're talking about is a recent that we can go in two directions with this conversation because Draymond Green was actually on a podcast with Derek Fisher, right? And they were debating, right? If the '01 Lakers faced the 2017 Warriors, and we're talking about that Warriors team where KD came through and they just swept the league. And what Derek Fisher was saying, and I actually agreed with Derek Fisher, is that they had such a much more physical brand of basketball, and Warriors was such a finesse team that Fisher said they would dominate. He said the '01 Lakers would dominate the Warriors just based off the physicality alone. And you know what? I actually believe it because if you have Shaq in his prime, Kobe balling out, Derek Fisher there leading the point. Do you know that anytime KD or Steph tried to go to the paint, they would get a whole lot of pain on them, bro? Like a lot of pain. So, as great as the Warriors dynasty was, it's nowhere compared to the physical nature of the early 2000s basketball, man. What do you think, my G?
no, I totally agree with that. Like for me, the Lakers would have won because let's be honest, who's gonna stop Shaq? The Lakers
No
don't
human.
need don't need any other gameplay and just throw the ball into Shaq. And like you said,
Yeah,
right? If Steph tried to drive the lane, Clay tried to drive the lane, these guys are gonna get laid out. Like Shaq laid out
yeah,
like big men. When I'm talking big men, I'm talking about like David Robinson, Karl Malone. These guys are 6'10". David
yeah,
Robinson's 7'2", but he weighs like 260, 270. Right? These are
yeah.
big guys, and Shaq was laying him out. So a 6'2" guard that weighs 160 pounds, like, come on, look at the size of these guys. So
I know.
KD's not going to stop them. KD's going to look
No.
at them, take the one hit, and be like, "Yo, coach, I'm done. Like, sub me out." You know. And you can say like, "Oh, Clay and Steph will shoot the lights out." Yeah, but shooting it takes a lot. So can they keep
Yeah.
that up consistently for 7 games for 4 quarters? Like, what did they average on during that year? I don't even know what the points per game average for those guys are. But I can tell you it wasn't more than 35, and they're shooting
Oh,
threes,
definitely not.
and they're
Yeah.
shooting threes. So 10 threes gives you 30 points automatically. So
Mm,
if they can't hold that throughout the season, there's no way they like. Come on, look at Shaq. It was
monster.
no contest. Like, and Kobe was young. Kobe, he was still learning. But who else did they have there? They had your boy Lou,
Oh,
Ty Lue. They
this
had Ty Lue. They had Ron
yeah.
Harper. Ron Harper, Horace Grant. Yes, they were older, but they played with Phil Jackson. They knew the system, right? So that would
Hmm.
help. Rick Fox. Rick Fox was older. But he was physical. Derek
Yes.
Fisher. I'm not a big Derek Fisher fan, to be honest with you,
Mm.
but he was a good vital part of that team because he ran the offense for them, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he
So,
did.
but
And that dynasty is underrated, man. That Lakers dynasty was
mhm,
really, really good, man.
yeah,
You know what I mean? For them to three-peat during an era where the Spurs were great, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Sacramento Kings were really great. That was a fantastic team.
yeah,
Like for them to dominate during that era, where a lot of teams were competitive. Like, it wasn't like
Mhm.
they're eating the entire West Coast, man. No,
Yep.
they had to play some guys.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you look at the Warriors didn't have stiff competition. They just ran through the league. They didn't have
Mhm.
like rivals. They
Mhm.
didn't have to face Tim Duncan every single year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Duncan, Hall of Famer,
Yeah. 100%.
Hall of Famer.
Probably he's
So,
he's arguably the
yeah,
best power forward. You know,
yes.
like Mr.
They-
Fundamentals himself. But like the Lakers' record that year was what 56 and 26. I think it was. So
oh, wow.
that shows you how
Yeah.
competitive the West was compared to when Golden State ran through it.
That's a fair point, man. You have to deal with different enemies, different guys, different players, different type of players. They had to face prime AI, Allen Iverson. Like, people forget, AI was a MFer, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Walking all over Ty Lue, the most iconic photo of all time. You know what I'm saying? With the cornrows. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know whatever happened to my AI jersey. I had that black Sixers jersey, and I think somebody
Fire.
took it from the playground. Oh, I was
Bruh.
devastated. Yeah. Still wondering what happened to it, but
I
it is
used
what
to have one when I was younger too, man. Yeah, I loved AI, man. You know what I
mm,
mean? One of the greatest of all time. Well, but you know what? I bring up the conversation on physicality because this happened today, bruh. Check this out. Our girl, Caitlin Clark, gets well, not clothesline, but hard fouled by Angel Reese.
jeez.
Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever, man.
Mhm,
And that's where, she got a flagrant one for that. I personally
mhm,
believe she was going for the ball and then, swiped at Caitlin. So she's clearly going for the ball. Well, get the block,
mhm.
but the teammate gets the block. But Angel Reese hard fall to the ground, and this goes back to our conversation that we always talked about. Do does the league have a priority to protect its stars, or is that just playing basketball? You know what I mean, or just she's playing hard defense? What do you think, brother?
I don't know. From that replay there, I think at
Mm,
first she was trying to go for the ball, but then she realized, you know what, I got beat, and so you're gonna
yeah,
try to just swipe at what it is. I've been on the receiving end of those before, and it's I don't
yeah.
think it's malintent from Angel Reese, but it's a hard foul for sure. And the flagrant one, you know what, I'm not a ref, but I think it was warranted. But I don't. Did she get kicked out of the game for that? No, huh?
No, no, no. She got a flagrant one.
Okay.
She got a flagrant one, and I believe, you know, that I don't think that's a kick out type of offense,
No, I was gonna say no.
but it's just, I personally think it's boom boom. It's playing
Mhm,
basketball. She's playing hard.
mhm,
But you're right about this. When you have a big time player like Caitlin Clark, people are gonna put that under a microscope. They're gonna review
mhm,
that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, why are you hurting the star of the league?" And just to give you an update, the Fever won in the so basically Caitlin Clark's teams won, and she played a pretty good game. She actually balled out. She had 23 points, 8 assists, 9 assists, my bad, 8 boards. Very complete game. She's playing a lot better. She's getting used to the game. But this
Yeah, I
this
was
is what
about to
I'm
say.
thinking.
It looks like he's getting
Yeah.
used to it now.
Yeah. But also I would suggest she needs to go to the gym and almost like Jordan rules, because they used to beat up Jordan in his prime, but then he got his weight up. Caitlin needs to get her weight up, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%. Well, like they keep saying, right? She's not playing against college, university girls anymore. These are seasoned
Right.
vets that have been in the league for a while. As much as nobody wants to talk about that whole rookie hazing type of thing, it happens in every
Mm,
sport. It happens in every
yes.
part of sports in general. So, are they biting the hand that is feeding them currently? Maybe,
Mm,
but she'll I think she'll toughen up and like you said, maybe hit the gym, get past this for her first rookie season, and then next year we'll see how she does compared to this. She's only gonna get better. I'll tell you that right now. She's only gonna
absolutely.
get better once she gets used to the game and the physicality of it. But hopefully the girls lighten up a little bit. I don't want to say don't touch her at all, but
Yeah.
night after night of seeing these highlights is is starting to get a little tiresome and worrisome.
It's a
So
little cringe though. Like it
yeah.
looks a little tough. Like you know what I mean. Let's say she falls down like really bad, you can break a
Hmm.
back. You know,
Hmm.
like we're like, yo, fracture. Now the season's over for her team.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know what
But it looks like she's learned how to fall from
I
from
mean?
all the beatings she's taken. So yeah, that helps her.
That's fair. Man, before we wrap it up tonight, man, by the way, people, if you're watching the replay, man, smash that like button. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the fathers. Happy Father's Day again. You know what I mean? Uh, before we wrap it up for tomorrow's game, we basically have said this is going to look like a gentleman's sweep. So I'm going to ask a hypothetical question. Let's say that the Dallas Mavs were to win. How would they win? What are the keys to the game for Dallas to do the unlikely, or unpredictable?
Unlikely.
How would the Mavs win in your book? Let's say, Coach Hefe, you got the keys to the game. What do you want to see from your Dallas Mavericks for them to get that dub?
For me, is getting to the paint. A lot of the
Mm,
when they're winning, you notice a lot of their buckets are coming in the paint. I can't stand ill-advised threes when you have 20 seconds left on the shot clock. There's no rush. You just stop making those ridiculous shots. Like, you don't need them. So get the ball into
mm,
the paint, collapse the defense. Make them work to make sure that they don't foul you. Because as soon as you start getting I want to say their rim protectors in foul trouble, and
mm,
then you have a little bit more freedom to shoot, a little bit more freedom to be creative. But at least for the start of the game, just constantly go to the paint, collapse the defense, and get your buckets. You're guaranteed two. You don't need to shoot threes. On a fast break. That's crazy. To me, anyways. But unless you're in what's that movie? The Spanish and Coach Carter. He
Oh
invented that
yeah,
fast break three. Right. So for me, now
yeah.
just
Theo Cruz, man. Theo
yes,
Cruz,
yes.
Coach Carter,
And
man.
Coach Cruz,
Homie was Steph Curry before Steph, man. We gotta
right?
put our respect. He was really pulling up for no reason. I'm like, damn, bad shot until he sunk it.
Right. So for me, get your points in the paint. Right.
Yeah,
Open up the defense. They'll collapse more. Leave your shooters open. Um, but Luca also has to play some defense consistently. Play some good
that's good.
defense, hard nosed defense. But we'll see how he is with his injuries. If they don't they don't bother him too much, then hopefully that'll be the main key for me. Because Kyrie's gonna give you Kyrie, and
Yeah.
hopefully he gets that out of his head in Boston. Because the first two games were not good for him, but I thought he had matured enough to get that out of the way, but it looked like he didn't. So we'll see. We'll see.
You know what's interesting stat about Kyrie? Kyrie had lost, I believe, 12 games in a row in Boston. 12 games in a row in Boston. Spanning back to like damn. So like whenever he's in Boston, he's had very weak performances, and I think it's the crowd getting to him. So if I was the Dallas Mavs, I would want Kyrie to start hot.
Hmm.
Because when Kyrie starts hot, he usually stays that way the entire game. And if you have to also manage Doncic's minutes because Luca's he's been injured. Actually, he's been even questionable for some games,
Yeah.
so he's not playing at his full strength.
Hmm.
So if we have Kyrie balling out, that puts less pressure on Luca
Yeah.
and actually less pressure on the teammates. The teammates play more free flowing,
Hmm.
and you know what? Kyrie, when he really wants to, he can go point guard and pass the ball a lot. So
Hmm.
I would want, Kyrie passing the ball a lot because it really, really hinges on him and his performance, especially if he comes out very aggressive, making his shots. That could be a long night for the Celtics.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're very excited for what's gonna happen. Question for you, Hefe.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
down to do a podcast right after the game if it's over or maybe a day after? What do you feel,
It's
man?
the game's
People in
tomorrow,
the
right?
chat. It's tomorrow, brother.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm free tomorrow night.
Oh,
Either
we love
game
it.
before game, after game, or championship banner parade, whatever. Or
We might
maybe
have to
the
take championship.
2 games in a row come back. It might be possible.
Oh,
You know, there's,
okay,
there's always
okay,
hope. There's
okay.
always hope.
Oh man, that's a fact. We'll see what happens, man.
Mhm.
Before we sign out, big shout out to Matt H in the chat. Sean in the chat. Saying the most ridiculous things. You know what I mean? But appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in, man. It's been Ankh and Few Hoops edition. You might see us tomorrow, man. So
Tomorrow, yeah.
get your post notifications. Keep in touch with me or Hefe. And we appreciate y'all for tapping in with us, man. It's been, Ankh and Few Hoops edition. Appreciate y'all.
All right, boys.
We out.
Peace.
Yes, sir.